What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome back to the Purple and Gold Bar Show. I am your host, aka Supreme Overlord, aka Mr. AI Man 3000, aka Purple and Gold Bars, at your service, guys. We're back at it. We made it another week. We're on the Friday night NFL news talk. And just kind of recapping all the fun stuff in the NFL, because, we can't always be talking about our Vikings, even though we want to. So today we got an awesome guest joining us. We got Zoe from In the Zoe-n Podcast jumping on. He's still in the middle of driving home, so he'll get here. Don't worry. Pump your brakes. He will be here soon. Let me put something up here so you guys can, let me put up a little image. Here we go. Let's put the thumbnail up there so you guys can see. Yeah, guys, hopefully you guys are doing great today. We are blessed as Vikings fans after some encouraging news after last night's loss. But we'll get into that real deep with when Mr. Zoe gets in here. Cody. We got D Woods. We got Cody. Go about MJ. Man, MJ, he's here all the time, man. Cody, you're also here all the time. And Zoe, what is up? And freaking D Woods as well. Woo. It's a busy one, guys. Been going. Got an extra live. We did just like a spontaneous extra live earlier today talking about Jalen Hurts. I just couldn't stand the slander and the negativity. I know I clickbaited a little bit to make it so that I wanted Eagles fan to come in here and be all angry and jaded, waiting for me to just dog on Jalen Hurts. But no, I wanted to defend him. I felt like the slander was unjust. I feel like he's a great quarterback, and I think a little bit is too much is getting drawn about when it comes to this man and the Eagles. It's okay, guys. They'll be fine. Okay. Let's cover a couple things, the boring stuff. There, Blood Eagle. We got Skull State of Mind. We got a bunch of you guys in here. What is up, guys? Thank you for hanging out, joining us here, whether you're on the In the Zone channel or if you're here with the Purple and Gold Bars. I really do appreciate you guys. I know Zoe appreciate you guys coming out and supporting. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to both Zone and my channel. That way you guys can be notified whenever we go live. And I'm always going to give you guys a Vikings perspective. Most of my videos are Vikings, but on Wednesday I do Dark Horse Diaries, where we go over the teams that are unsung, and then we kind of bring in other point of views. We're bringing in Mike, we're bringing in Zoe today. We like to collaborate on Saturday evenings. We try to, whenever the availability is right. I know D Woods does a great job of trying to bring us together so we can talk football and give you guys like a raw football where we let our emotions go and let you guys decide that me, for sure, I definitely don't try to put out in public, because I try to lead with that positive perspective, lead with that optimism, right? Because I want to actively fight against the negativity and the evil in the world, right? So that's just my way of trying to do my best, and that's what we're doing here. So let's start with some of the boring stuff, maybe the stuff that might be a little bit old news that, while we wait for Zoe to get in, because I know he's going to have a lot to say about last night's game and a bunch of other more current topics. We'll definitely be talking about the Eagles, definitely be talking about the Giants, Jalen Hurts, all these stuff. I know Zoe's probably going to have a lot to say, so stay tuned for that one, guys. But let's touch base and kind of recap what's happened since last Saturday, right? Man, Sunday night football, Patriots, Bills. What a heck of a game, man! I will toot my horn a little bit here and remind people of the bold prediction that I said going into the season, which I think is looking pretty damn good today specifically, because I said the two teams that are going to turn some heads and change some of the narrative around them, maybe not towards their record, but they were going to do some crazy flashes. I said the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. Because one, I really like Mike Vrabel, and like I've said, another hot take was like, I think Mike Vrabel has what it takes to potentially be the coach of the year. And that was before I even seen any game play out. And now what we're seeing, I'm like, man, he might start running away with it in the next couple of weeks if he continues to have such success with the Patriots. I know there's going to be ups and downs. They're young, they're new. There's a new system and new playbook, new coach. So it's not always going to be a nice and smooth and smooth ride. Remember that Pittsburgh Steelers game? When I saw that game, I was like, man, I don't know. Am I crazy? But I feel like the Patriots look like the better team. They just threw the game away with all the untimely fumbles. I know the Steelers defense did cause some of them, but there was a couple that was just like, do you guys trying to lose the game? Like, what is going on? Now, in hindsight, I feel like it's those types of games that you see people saying, yo, this is why the NFL is rigged. Look at this. The Patriots gave it to the Steelers. They're trying to make sure that the Steelers make the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, stuff like that, right? So I'm happy to see the New England Patriots last week against the Bills go head to head with Josh Allen and them boys, man, the prolific offense in modern football, right? It's awesome to see. I love seeing that. The Bills and Josh Allen did a pretty decent job, but they have some weaknesses too. Every defense, is as good as they may be, have some weaknesses, right? They can be run on. We can be run on, right? So it is what it is. You just have to do the best with what you got. And the Patriots were just better, So massive upset victory. Moving on to Monday night. Massive victory come from behind, or maybe upset win between the Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. And man, this Mike Shanahan tree that's developed, freaking Mike LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, Liam Cohen now. Bro, they're starting to make a big impact. It's like as if they were ahead of the curve, if you know what I mean. So, man, it's really good to see. Statistically speaking, Trevor Lawrence hasn't had this, like, the most statistical, like, oh my God, what a great season he's having, but he's winning games. It might just be that he's transitioning into this new style offense and whatnot, and is definitely not going, not as going as planned right off the bat, but they're winning games. A couple rough, I think they only got one rough loss actually, but other than that, I think they're a great team in the making. I think they're going to continue to change narratives. Like, I don't know if they're going to continue to win out or go on a losing. I have no idea what the future holds for them, but I feel like they're showing potential. And I feel like at the very least, they're going to rewrite their narratives. And going into next year, I think they're going to be a team that we should be watching and being aware of, right? What's going on? Let me touch back base. Oh, we got our fearless leader, Mr. Rap, in the house. We got Angel. Yes, you got it. Mr. AI Man 3000 here. And we got, again, D Woods, Blood Eagle, Cody, MJ. Thank you guys all for stopping in, hanging out with us. We're just killing a little bit of time until Zoe drops in here and starts letting us know, talking that talk, like our good friend Mike says. And we're just kind of quickly going over the stuff that's probably not going to get touched on when Zoe gets here. So, because I know he's going to have a lot to say about these Eagles, a lot to say about our upcoming games. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for tapping in, Rap. We will definitely be in your live later. I know I will for sure. And then, so other kind of like, let me see, any other news that is kind of old news right now. Maybe we can talk about Lamar Jackson a little bit here because, he's missed his second consecutive practice due to a hamstring issue this week. And it's no secret. I always talk about how I love Lamar Jackson and what he does. I still have my opinions about his weaknesses and whatnot, but none of that takes away from the superstar that he is. Plain and simple. I may he may not fit my mold of a perfect quarterback, but that doesn't mean that he's not elite and he's not amazing at that. He's a walking highlight. So, and it sucks not to have him out on the field because he's one of those players. Like, I hate it. I hate injuries for this reason, because like sometimes it just kind of takes away from the the fun or like the storylines and the excitement of the NFL when you see one of our superstars like that go down and just kind of throws a little wrench into things, right? So hopefully he can get back at it sooner rather than later. My thoughts and prayers are always with there. Every morning when I pray or when I'm, you know, going over my day, I always pray for everybody that's injured in the NFL, hoping for a speedy recovery. And I also pray that nobody gets injured because I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. It bugs me. I'm squirmish. I turn away every single time. And this is a guy that loves MMA, that's got a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know what I mean? Like I'm no stranger to seeing arms being broken. I've been in the gym and watched somebody's bicep tear and it roll up their arm. So I'm just squeamish and I just don't want to see people be hurt. So, you know, I hate the fact that we're dealing with that. Now we got other injuries, right? George Kittle is still likely to remain sidelined through week 6 due to a hamstring injury. You know, I really want him to get back out there because once he gets back out there, it's going to give these 49ers another like dimension to their game. And hey, big ups to the 49ers. You guys are dealing with a ton of adversity, a ton of injuries, everything in there. And you guys are still coming out and doing a great job and coming away with wins where a lot of people, including myself, were skeptical that you guys would be able to accomplish some of these wins against good teams. So big ups to you, the 49ers, and everybody there. Mac Jones. Hey, Mac Jones. You have done a great job of turning around some of the narratives behind you. Hopefully you don't end up hopefully it just goes the rest of the season and you don't and you kind of ride that wave. And so next year you can kind of maybe get a nice little contract and continue your journey, man. Because I like redemption stories. That's one of the biggest reasons why I'm a huge fan of Sam Darnold. And hey, Mr. Freaking Mike Sports Vibes in the building. Thank you so much for jumping in here, brother. And yeah, so hopefully, like I said, that's the reason why I'm a Sam Darnold lover. You know, like to me, I'm Canadian, right? So the American dream to me is what Sam Darnold has lived. You know, to be like, you know, going up to what he was up until the entry of the draft, and then for him to struggle and almost get bounced out of the league, and then for him to, you know, start this journey of redemption and kind of reclaiming his freaking narrative in his life, and to see him finish off what he did for us and then move on to another situation that hopefully they're willing to give him a long-term chance of continuing to fulfill his journey. I love it. He's America's quarterback to me. I really love the Sam Darnold story. Ain't no problem, Mr. Rapp. Thank you for joining, and thank you for being an inspiration for the community, and especially to me. I know you are one of my inspirations. I know Mike's one of my inspirations. I know Zoe's one of my inspirations. All the guys, D Woods, all these guys in our purple and gold squad, you guys inspire me to continue to go live and continue to push forward, because I have to represent for you guys, because that's how much respect I have for you guys. So thank you so much for the support, guys. But yeah, other things, let's talk about some other stuff. Chris Godwin, he's still dealing with a fibula injury, right? He's expecting to miss week 6. Man, my mind is turning to mush. But yeah, and hey, how about Rico Dowdle, guys? I know I didn't even touch on this because it kind of like fell into the pit of storylines that I kind of have to cultivate and sift through to kind of pick the ones that I think are going to be impactful and are going to get clicks, essentially, for the lack of a better way of saying it. And man, 234 total yards and a touchdown and a comeback win. Wow. He looked really good, guys. Like, did you guys expect that going into that game? I know I didn't, but when I see things like that, it kind of reminds me of the thing that I've been saying so much to us Vikings fans is where others see disaster looming, I see opportunities. I see chances for these young guys that are literally sitting behind starters or in the wings, just waiting for a chance to prove themselves. And Rico Dowdle did that, right? Chuba Hubbard, I know he's battling some injuries and he's not quite 100% right now. So for him to take over and show what he's got, man, I love football for that. That's one of the best parts about football. That's why I watch every single game, almost kind of like selfishly hoping to see like some guy break out that game, some random backup having to be thrown into the midst of whatever's going on and turns around and throws for freaking 200 yards in a comeback win. Or you see a cornerback like Isaiah Rodgers come out there and literally look unstoppable, like his precision on the punches and causing a forced fumble for a recovery into a 6-point return, and then going back for a pick six, coming out with the best defensive performance PFF have ever seen, right? That's why I watch football. I love my Vikings. Oh man, I love my Vikings. But I also love competition. I love the storylines, because everything at the end of the day, these people, these players that we love to watch, it's like a fight, you know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen until it happens, and all the hard work that they put in before going into the week and their entire lives to get to this point, and for them to break out, oh, I love it. So that's why I watch football, and that's why I talk football with you guys, man. Angel, what's going on, brother? Woo! Thanks, thanks, Rap. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, so and that kind of ties back to what's his name? The Eagles, the Giants receiver, Hyde? No. Oh my good. The kid oh my goodness. The one receiver, he ended up coming up with his first catch in like a bunch of times. Like literally the definition of what I'm saying, and I'm totally blanking on his name. Hopefully you guys can let me know in the chat what his name is. The Giants receiver. He made a couple of incredible catches and kept the chains moving, especially late, and kept them in the game, and kind of kept the game going in the right direction for the Giants. It was incredible to see, you know what I mean? So like big ups to him. Cam Scatterbo. Well, you know what? No, I can't get into it because we got to wait for Mr. Zoe to get in here. So we'll get into it for sure. Now, let's see. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has opted not to appeal a $250,000 fine for an obscene gesture made during a game. Ooh, that's not a good look. You know what else isn't another good look for Jerry Jones? You guys have had to have seen it. The glory hole freaking like slip of the tongue that he said. Oh, glory hole. I know my Perna from That Good Sports, he uses it all the time, and every single time I see that clip, wherever I see it, it always makes me laugh, man. Oh, Jerry Jones, man, you are such a lol cow. I love it, man. Holy moly. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat. Let me see here. NFL concussion this one might be something good for us to be aware of. The NFL concussion protocol review. The league is reviewing the application of concussion protocols concerning Giants quarterback Jackson Dart during Thursday night's game against the Eagles. Hey, you know what? When I'm thinking back of that situation when it happened, I was more in awe with the fact that this kid showed the guts and was able to clear protocol and, get back out there and complete the game. Like I was like, wow, this guy's got some serious cojones, right? But now if I take a step back and think about it from an organizational point of view, or maybe even trying to look at it in a perspective of like a medical staff, maybe the criticism lies that they didn't do their due diligence. They didn't spend the time needed in order to clear him to go back out there. And it was more because of the pressure that they felt from the organization. I know Daboll jumped into trying to get in there, looking in there. I know Scatterbo went back in there. Everybody was really curious to see what was going to happen with Jackson, right? So maybe this will spark the way that they address the concussion protocol on the sidelines and going forward, because we're dealing with some concussions, right? Ryan Kelly, was it a thing of he the concussion protocol failed him, or he lied because he wanted to desperately be out there with his brothers on the field because he didn't feel like he couldn't leave them, let them go into battle without him, right? Like both things are bad. I'm gonna say, like, I don't blame Ryan Kelly if that's the reason why he pushed to get back out there. Because you know what I mean? Like I feel like I have that kind of same mentality that even if I'm hurting, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna be there with my boys because I just can't let them go into battle without me. So I get that sentiment, but it's a stupid feeling at the same time, bro. Like you're a professional NFL center. You need to also think of the longevity. I know, pride sometimes gets the better of us, and it could have been that, or maybe it could have been a failure to the protocol system. So hopefully, them triggering this review might shed some light, and hopefully we can get a more refined or more effective like process, maybe, so that we can protect the players, because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. You know me, I'm going to stress that every single time. And so anything that makes the players be healthy and be available long term and not risk serious injury or even risk retirement, like we're seeing from Ryan Kelly, I'm all for it. So hopefully this causes a deep dive into the protocol. Let's see here. What's everybody saying here? A concussed start is still a better. That's a funny point. Jason or John says a concussed Jackson Dart is still better than a healthy Russell Wilson. Man, Russell Wilson looked bad, bro. Holy moly, bro. Like, oh man, I really like Russell Wilson. I was a big fan of him. I feel like if it wasn't for him, like him alongside like Cam Newton and RG3, I think those guys are the ones that forever changed the way that we look at the quarterback position, especially in the minds of the GM. Once they saw like teams having success, and then Russell Wilson actually winning a Super Bowl with a guy that a lot of them would have said prior to this generation that you can't win with that type of quarterback. And then they did. I think it's kind of created the type of quarterback that we're seeing now. Everybody's got wheels, everybody can move, and we got even superstars like Mike Vick 2.0 or Jaden Daniels. I think he's one of one. I think I shouldn't say Lamar Jackson is Mike Vick 2.0. Lamar Jackson is one of one. He's a superstar. There's no need to throw comparisons out there. Mike Vick was incredible too, but like and an awesome player. But let's be real, Lamar ain't him, and Mike Vick ain't him, and Lamar ain't JD5, and JD5 ain't either one of those other guys. Right? They're all incredible in their own right, and I'd be comparing apples to oranges if I did that, anyways. So. And then maybe another one that's kind of out there that's probably a little bit old school here or a little bit older. We got freaking the Cincinnati Bengals trading for freaking, there's the man of the hour, the one that's never sour. Let me get him up here. Mr. Zoe from In the Zone Podcast. What's going on, brother? I was just talking about
my boy. What's the deal?
Hey, man, just enjoying life, man, living the dream.
I hear that. I appreciate you, dude. Happy
Hey,
on, hopping me on your shit today.
Hey, man, no, I'm happy to be able to talk football. I like talking football with you, man. But I was just kind of going over the boring stuff. We went over the Patriots, upset win. We went over the Jaguars stuff. We went over some injuries like George Kittle, Lamar Jackson, Chris Godwin. We talked about Rico Dowdle and his massive game. Talked a little bit about the news today that they're investigating the concussion protocol based on what happened with Jackson Dart last night. And then also we had a little bit of laugh at Jerry Jones because he's a lol cow, and he opted not to appeal a $250,000 fine for making an obscene gesture or something, right? So just kind of having fun waiting until you got here, man.
Oh yeah, I remember. I seen that. Oh yeah, I appreciate you. My bad, bro.
Hey, man, no worries, man. How was work?
Man, work, it was straight. I just had to take my mama somewhere. She took way too damn long and inspected.
I hear you, man. Sometimes takes a little bit longer to get the job done, but you made it home and safe. That's all that matters, right?
Hell
Thank the
yeah.
Lord.
What
Cody,
you think about that
says,
game last night?
"Oh, bro, we are gonna get into that. I knew you were gonna want to talk about that, man. But first, real quick, Cody says, "Hope Chiefs beat the Lions." Hey, that'd be a heck of a game, and it's that game. I think is gonna show us how much the Lions corners make a difference for that defense. And then he also says, if the Giants can beat the Eagles, why can't the Bengals beat the Packers? Hey, Joe Flacco is the mystery, the secret sauce there. He's there. He beat them already this year.
I don't see that one though. I can't see that one.
We can dream on that one for sure. I know I'm definitely not going with probabilities on that guess. All possibilities, man.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be good though.
So tell him, Zoe, what are you thinking about? What's got you on, or what's on your mind after that game?
Man, I watched that game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it real. After I seen that tush push for like the 4 plays in a row, I fell asleep on the game. But I seen the highlights though. But like I'm watching Jackson, whatever his fucking name is, Dart, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching him play, and I was never big on him when he was in college. I say he wouldn't be a good NFL, whatever the case might be though. But I'm looking at him play like this is what I expect to see out of JJ McCarthy. Running around, making plays, and like I'm like this. How to me, that's how JJ's supposed to be looking. or I could just be tripping though.
Did you watch the game last week though?
With Dart?
Yeah.
I watched all his games.
That was like worse than JJ's worst as well, though.
No, but still, rookie gonna have the moments though.
He looks good. He looks good, and I really hope. I want him to succeed. I'm not gonna. But I went back and looked at his scouting report. The difference between him and JJ is JJ was more of a prototype, a developmental guy. He was more established, more mature, right? So I can see why he's doing better. Same with Dylan Gabriel. Same sort of thing. He was expected to be able to do exactly what he did. Those were his strengths, and he showed them last time, right? So, but yeah, I can't wait to see JJ go back out there and look like that.
TP, what up, TP?
There we go.
D Wood. Hey, TP, I'm giving you props, bro, on Jackson Dart. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be good yet, though, because I told everybody 2 years ago Jalen Hurts wasn't a good quarterback. Everybody would bash me. Nah.
Hey, TP, you know that I've been freaking saying you guys have so much potential, and I can see it. I can see it because you guys remind me of our Vikings when we were just raw potential and nothing else, and we would like have one good game and then like 5 bad games, and then we'd have one good game, and then over the years we became good, right? And I was like, you guys might have something. You might have to. Hey, you know what? Maybe Dable just needed his quarterback. The quarterback or his philosophy. I don't know.
I could say this though. The good thing about it is Dart look okay, but the bad part. Hold on, shit. The bad part is Purple Bar. If Dable ass ain't getting fired, and I still don't trust Dable for real.
He might have saved his job for a little while, man. For sure. Hell yeah, definitely, man. Freaking old man. I have to put this. I've been so bad at putting these up. I've just been reading them. I should have been clicking on them. But old man says, one day you might feel that feeling again, Zoe.
Man. Okay.
Oh, man. And then you know what? TP also says he doesn't trust Dable. So, and I think a lot of us are there. I'm not even close to putting my foot down and even giving a solid stance on him because I just can't. I don't want to look like a dumbass in 2 weeks,
Yeah, but the Giants look like if I was a Giant fan, I'd be happy because I'm seeing some promises in my young players. Even the wide receiver core, the young boys stepping up.
Absolutely. What's his? Oh, Hyatt. That's his name. I was talking about earlier how I love how I've been saying, especially to us Vikings fans, it's like we need to, like, where other people see disaster coming, I see opportunities, right? I'm like, backup players are sitting there. There's a bunch of guys on the roster that just are dying for an opportunity to prove themselves. And Hyatt did that last night. He made some big catches in big situations. And the first catch that he made, the announcer said, "This is the first catch he's made in like a year," or some bullshit like that. And I was like, damn, this guy's stepping up. This is literally, I was like, some guy is going to show up and take advantage of the opportunity that he has. And man, did he ever pull out for you guys.
That was a good win last night. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good win. They put a belt to the Eagles' ass last night.
Absolutely, man. To go back on that tush push, man. When that happened, I remember being like, oh, it's just so incredibly frustrated with it. And then one of them, it was a clear false start that they missed. And I was like, bro, give them that 5-yard penalty. What is going on? And then they ended up doing their thing and tush push into the end zone. And I was like,
that raggedy ass offense.
Oh, no. Freaking such a cheap way to freaking to do it.
I hate that shit.
But then I forget who it was, but one of the offensive linemen was walking up the sideline after doing the tush push, all happy and like, yeah, we got him. I'm like, bro, don't jinx this shit before this is over, because like you ain't won it yet, you know. And then all of a sudden they just couldn't do nothing, man. Holy moly.
So yeah, they like, I don't know, the Eagles like I'm, don't get me wrong, they got the talent to turn the shit around though, but for me watching the Eagles, man, like they broken. Cause like when they beat the Rams and beat the Buccaneers, they had special team plays that won them games. So they really should have 4 losses, honestly.
There's 2 of those were super close. I agree. -4 yards in that first one in the first half, and then in that second win, 0 passing yards from in the second half, right? So the narrative has been like, do you think Zoe, they're going to be able to put a full 4 quarters together this season the way that they're looking?
I would say yeah, though. It ain't gonna be consistent though. It's gonna be a game they put it all together though.
Here and there.
Yeah, it's gonna be little spots, but I don't see them getting back to the Super Bowl though. Like, I don't know. The NFC right now, like, I don't know.
It's a competitive and it's up and down, man. Also at the same time. Now, I found out earlier today that the coordinator, the play caller for the Eagles, it's his first ever year play calling.
Mm-hmm.
So learning and growing pains might be the reason why they're looking as bad as they are. I know there's a lot to be said right now about AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts and their relationship deteriorating, but he was throwing him the ball last night, and AJ Brown looked good at times. So I don't know.
I just feel like, honestly, man, like you had that receiver and quarterback combination that just run its course. I just feel like the Eagles need to part way with AJ Brown, not because he's a bad receiver. It's just because he wants so much attention, and you can tell it gets to Jalen Hurts because he ain't playing like he normally play. He want to try and make the receiver happy, give him the ball, and he getting out of his zone. Though I feel like the Eagles need to part way with AJ Brown. AJ Brown giving me T.O. vibes, man.
Really? The diva-ness, like just kind of like that bad attitude? Wow.
You can tell, like look at the slick shit he be saying. I don't recall no team meeting. I wasn't there. Like Jalen Hurts just said, y'all had a team meeting the other day. Like, it's just a little slick shit he's saying. Then he be on the sideline reading the book. It's just too much. Like, I get it, bro. You want the ball. Like,
you just reminded me of something. During the live or during the game, I remember there was a moment where Devonta Smith was literally talking to all the receivers, and he was trying to get them hyped up. And you can see AJ Brown just kind of smiling and looking like both like elbows on his knees, just kind of leaning forward and just kind of like totally checked out. And he was just like smiling. I was like, what is this? What kind of bullshit is this? You're the number 1 receiver. Yeah. You should be the one doing what Devonta Smith is doing right now, getting your team riled up. Even if you don't have a good, you should be wanting to win. What the heck is going on? Yeah, man. Maybe he is. Maybe he is a lot like Theo.
I just feel like Devontae Smith done mature so much since he got there. I think they need to put the focus on him and get a receiver run with him. Like the AJ Brown shit was cool. Y'all won a Super Bowl at the end of the day. It was great. But all good things come to the end. Like trade them and get that locker room and office back together.
Absolutely. Imagine if they had the presence of mind of doing that like in the off season and like before like any of the massive trades, and they picked up a guy like Diggs. Like Diggs, man, what he's doing in New England right now, I'd like to see that he has matured. He is looking phenomenal, man. I really like these Patriots, and I was so hoping. I'm like, but all preseason, like, please, man. I was like, please let this freaking prediction be spot on, man. And they're doing awesome, right? And Diggs is a big part of that. On the sideline against the Bills, he was motivational. He was on top of his teams. He was being a vocal leader, and he was leading by example. And then on the field, he was being that guy too. Unbelievable.
Yeah. But so Diggs, he a nice receiver though, but don't get it wrong. Diggs might go MIA for the next 2 games. He will do that. He will go MIA.
Yeah, as Vikings fans, I remember. But I love to see if he disappears on the field, but he's still that leader on the sideline, and he wills his team to win. Hey, I feel like he's taking a step forward. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see what's going on in New England as well. Man, what a game. Now, let me try to think. Let's talk Cam Scatterbo. Man, I don't know why, but like from like the first week of the season when I started watching this man play, because I watch every game, right? And I especially like pay attention to the Giants because I really want them to do well. But every single time he runs angry, bro. He runs with intention. Like he doesn't have the intangibles of an Adrian Peterson or even that legendary ability, but he reminds me of that aggressiveness that AP had, you know, and I like that style of running. There was one where like he only got like a 3 or 4 yard gain, but he just kept like trucking. He's like dropping his head and just like trucking people over and over and got like 3 freaking hard yards after breaking like 2 or 3 tackles. I was like, bro, this guy is awesome, and I love watching him freaking play.
Yeah, he was nice in college though. Like I told people in the chat when we were talking about the draft, like I would be mad if I can pick up that running back. But a lot of Vikings fans, for some reason, they really ain't like him. But he ran like that in college, though.
Yeah, right. And I think a lot of people discredit him because of the division that he came from. There's not their division isn't known for tackling, right?
No, hey, you know why? Shit, he was a white boy playing running back. Shit,
that plays a massive factor. Actually, let's be real. Yeah, it does.
But you could tell he grew up in the hood.
Oh yeah.
You can
absolutely, man. He runs hard. Man, I love watching him play.
I love that because when you run hard like that in the beginning of the game, come the fourth quarters, safeties and corners, they ain't really trying to tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that about Adrian Peterson. Like sometimes he would go like small yards all the way up until like the 3rd or the 4th, late in the 3rd or in start of the 4th, and at that point, they were just so sick and tired of tackling that they'd just be arm tackles. And you ain't taking AP down with an arm tackle. And the way that he did Cooper DeJean when he smoked him on the way into that end zone, I was like, oh, this guy is nasty, man. Oh, I love the way he plays football, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, he nice. That's why I said the Giants, man, they got to be happy with their young running back and a young quarterback and their young receiver core. Like, and their defense is legit. What that defense line is. Oh, yeah. I don't know too much about the secondary. Well, they do got my boy over there, though. I like my man they got from New Orleans Saints. I want the Vikings to get him. His name is Paul some shit. Paul Adabo or some shit like that.
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember how he pronounced
Adabo or some shit. But I want the Vikings to get him in free agency, though.
Yeah, the way that he was playing, I see why you wanted him. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Any football topics you wanna talk about? Let you lead a little bit here.
Man, shit, we can get to like the Vikings bye week, what they need to focus on.
Sure, yeah, we can talk Vikings as well. What do you? Right now, I know it's still up in the air with JJ and whatnot because I'm hearing conflicting freaking things. You know, freaking Addison. Addison freaking mentions that he's healthy, ready to go. KOC comes out yesterday and says that he's been cleared to do full practice and is getting work with the ones, so, and then we got like journalists like Diana Rossini or whatever, freaking Adebo. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, John.
Mhm.
And saying that he ain't ready and that he's injured and they're babying. They're almost even kind of floating the idea that it's a conspiracy that the Vikings are holding him back so they, so they can ride the hot hand or something without criticism. And I'm like, bro,
I said that shit before when he first got hurt, though. I see why, but I don't know. I said that shit when he first got hurt because I ain't seen when he got hurt.
Well, once we seen the hip drop tackle, it was pretty obvious. But the thing with the like D Woods mentioned in his live earlier, right? Because he's seen conflicting timetables, right? The 2 to 4 weeks or the 4 to 6 weeks, right? And that's kind of like the typical norm with high ankle sprains. Going back to my personal trainer days or my rehab days, right? Like when I was training clients, that was one of the hardest injuries for people to kind of deal with because it's one of those areas that you just can't rest properly. You're always walking, you're always driving. It's very hard to give it the rest that it needs in order to heal fast, right? So I get that. So sometimes it lingers. In the NBA, the high ankle sprain is one of the worst freaking injuries out there, right? So
D Woods,
what up? Ryan, yeah, so you know what I mean? It's just I think it's more of a thing of people just don't understand how to like predict or kind of think about that injury. It's really difficult, even as a personal trainer with experience in injury rehab and stuff like that. It's hard. Even when you're the professional, it's hard. That's why you get the 2 to 4 weeks, the 4 to 6 weeks, right? Now I'm hoping that he was able to rest and do all the right things. And he is, because I'm hoping that he makes it through this whole week of like practice with the ones. And then on Saturday, he doesn't have any swelling or anything and he can go, because that's the next problem. If he can make it through the practice without having any pain or swelling, because if that happens and they can't let him play, that means that it's not ready yet. So I hope so. And now I used to be a little bit more concerned about what the Eagles could do against Carson Wentz because they just have so much knowledge on him and his weaknesses and strengths. But I think they're a little bit too focused on fixing what they got going on. I don't think that'll even be play a factor anymore. So if JJ doesn't go, I think we'll do well. If JJ goes, I think we'll do really well either way. I think we got more than just a chance now, guys, to win that game.
Yeah, man, but I'm gonna keep on saying this though, man. I expect to see more out of JJ for what the fuck I've seen the first 2 games. I need to see more because Brian Dable, he done put the pressure on KOC. Like I like you, KOC, and all, but you need to let this quarterback fucking play. If you don't like what he's seeing down the field, let him know it's okay to run with the football if you want to. It's okay. Yeah. I'm not going to kill you. But absolutely. you can't break the pocket early all the time. But as a quarterback, you gotta have that feeling, and I gotta trust your gut feeling. Like forget all that. You running my play, this is my play. Stay in the pocket to the let the quarterback just play quarterback.
Absolutely.
If you see it, go for it. If you don't see it, hell, break it for 20 yards.
Give him all the preparation, and then just let him figure it out with his own intuition, with his gameplay, and let him become the guy that we think he can become.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, I wanted to take a moment. Man, some crazy stuff going on in Tennessee. A factory exploded, and up to maybe 20 people lost their lives today.
Damn.
Man, first and foremost, thoughts and prayers to all the family members. It's got to be an incredibly tough time for them. So, yeah, man.
Prayers up to Tennessee. D Woods say I sprained my ankle 2 weeks before Skull Fest, and I still like D Woods. He ain't 200 plus pounds though, my boy. I'm like
throwing jabs.
I'm just saying though. Like I feel you, D Woods though, but JJ about 180, 170 at best.
Good gravy. No doubt. Cody says, hope the O-line is healthy and KOC has to have good play calling. I agree. I think that, the success that he saw with Carson, I hope is enough for him to throw more of that towards JJ. You know, I know me and Mike are definitely go in depth about that, and we got some our own train of thoughts about that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be night and day after the bye.
Right.
So I think
But
it's gonna be about winning now instead of developing JJ.
but another thing is, I don't know how you feel about this. I'm not saying right now, but during the off season, I say the Vikings need to trade Jordan Addison.
Hey, tell him. You know what? Take a moment. Tell him.
I'm gonna say this. I love Jai. He is a nice wide receiver number 2. You can't ask for nothing more. But if I look at the Viking offensive line, because after this season, they're gonna have to retool the offensive line once again. And I don't feel comfortable paying Jordan Addison 28 or 30 plus million, and our old line isn't good. We're gonna look like the fucking Bengals. As the Bengals, how did that work out when they paid 2 wide receivers and they ain't really addressed the offensive line? Like, I love Jordan Addison, but if I can get a second and probably another offensive lineman in that trade, that's something Vikings fans need to think about, and we need to pull that trigger, because he gonna want 28 or 30 million plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what J-Mo getting. I don't know what Waddle getting, because them are true number 2 wide receiver and Devontae Smith. But I can say about 28, 31 million they getting per year. I don't want to tie that much money up in wide receivers. I'll also say this: in the second half of the season, the Vikings need to play Top Felton a little bit more and see what he brings to the table. Because if he could develop him during the season and he showed promises, he also can be Jordan Addison replacement. He might not ball like him, though, but if he show he can play, he got explosiveness to him, he can catch. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know he ain't gonna be job, but he might could fit that role, and we could also bring in another wide receiver for wide receiver number 3. That's
Absolutely.
just my thoughts.
No, yeah. For me, I took the stance like I'm not gonna crucify him for his actions and his immaturity, because I definitely sure as hell was not perfect in my youth. So I'm not gonna be throwing any shade that way, but I am not gonna be blind to the fact of the financial aspects of this situation. You're right, man. Paying a lot. I don't want to be in that same situation as the Bengals are right now with a shoddy O-line. We have a need for a run stopper, or at least a couple players that have that run stopping skill set as their prime skill set. Because Hargrave and Allen, as good as pass rushers they are, they're just not run stoppers, and it hurts to see them out there when we're paying them so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if it comes, like, I want us to be financially responsible as a team, and if we have to move on from him, and I get that, you know, maybe trying to move him onto a team where we can get a high draft pick, so we can kind of draft another wide receiver to replace him, or something, or draft an O-line, or draft a run stopper, right? Like something like that, because I feel like that the need at the O-line, the need at the run stopper is just more valuable than an incredibly talented number 2. And I'm 1,000% with you on that.
Then like, I must do a video about being busy, but I also will say this. I think Carolina and Tennessee will be a good spot for Jordan Addison, just because they have the money, and they will have some good draft picks. They have a young quarterback who need a receiver like Jordan Addison. He'd be the best receiver on either one of the football teams.
Absolutely.
Then another thing, my bad, and one more thing is, the Bengals ain't really committed to T. Higgins, because he ain't got no guarantee money. If we get Jordan Addison the contract, he getting guaranteed money. So that's another reason why we'll be effed up. The Bengals can move off T. Higgins right now or in the offseason, and they don't owe that man a dime. He took a crazy contract.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't pay out because they ain't bringing no offensive lineman.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm on that same page, man. I want us to grow, but I don't want to sacrifice our potential or our future for just to pay guys. It's too soon. I feel like we still need to develop more or gain more ground with a rookie scale quarterback before we start paying our guys.
Yeah,
we can't be like some of these teams like the Bengals and stuff, pay their guys before they even have done anything with them. You know what I mean? So, and then you're stuck with this bad defense and a bad O-line, right? So I don't want that. I want us to continue. I don't want us to sacrifice our future for the present. A thousand percent don't want that.
Then Purple Bart, like Cody said, trade him to the Giants for Dexter Lawrence. Hell no. You think I'm gonna get a Giants, Jordan Addison, with that young quarterback and that young running back? Hell no. No, I ain't doing that one. Hell no. Since let them play with Bryce Young. Because the Giants might be a team in the future in our way into the Super Bowl. So no, I'm straight on that one.
Absolutely, John. I agree with what you're saying here. A question here, or maybe Frozen Nose says, I feel a lot of our run D troubles compared to last year are from Cashman being out, to a lesser degree AVG as well. You know, that's a good point as well. So like I was saying, post bye, when it comes to the defense, what I want Brian Flores, because he's very scheme dependent. So I want him to create new schemes or new ideas in order to get like at least our run defense up to like average, you know, serviceable. Because if not, we're gonna have guys running on us 4th and 1, 3 and 1 all the time without fear. You know, if we get to a point where we're like, hey, these guys can run stop pretty decent, not great, not bad, but it's something that we have to address, right? Keeps the defense honest. It changes their game plan. So yeah, I'm 1,000% in agreement there, and I think once those guys back, I think it'll change for sure.
Like my only issue with that. Well, people are talking about why our defense and offense line ain't playing good because people is injured. My whole kickback on it, that is, these people got hurt in the beginning of the fucking season. So the chances of these players gonna be healthy throughout the rest of the season ain't looking too good. Because how the hell you get hurt in the first 4 weeks of the season? Absolutely. The season just started.
Hey, don't make me get. I have my theory to why that is, bro. Like I'm gonna say it. This new generation is fucking soft. Oh crap! I don't like to swear. This new generation is soft as hell. Like two-a-days. It started from when they got rid of two-a-days and hard practicing, and then now to removing a preseason game. You know, as a personal trainer, I know that if you're going to be doing like prolonged training, like if you're going to be working on powerlifting or Olympic lifting, you need to do that work every single day and keep your body accustomed to that level of training. And then the most important part is doing the rehab work after, the physiotherapy, doing all the stretches, the sauna, the hot tub, the cold bath, all the things to bring your muscles back to neutral. Because if they are, then your body's going to be more resilient to injury. And if you don't train as hard and you're sporadic and then all of a sudden you're asked to sprint, which is exactly what they're being asked to, right? Walkthroughs and no pads and stuff like that. And then on freaking Sundays, they go, okay, go full speed. No, actually, I want you to go 120%. People are going to get injured. And because we don't have a preseason game, and before when we used to have freaking the third week was the dress rehearsal where the starters used to play the entire first half, they would get a ton of reps and be ready for the start of the season. And now, because we don't do that and they play, you know, one series here and then some of them sit and some of them don't play, the time the season comes, that's why we see such undiscipline in football that's so hard to predict. That's why we see so many injuries and like upsets at the beginning of the year that at the end of the year, like, how did whatever team lose to the freaking Panthers or whatever it is? You know what I mean? And it's because I think it stems from that.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I agree with you. These players right now are soft, man.
Yeah, man. It's part of the new generation, which, you know, it's definitely something that's going to be gone soon, and we're not going to see any of that. And some of the old guys are going to be retiring. It's just going to be all new guys that are going to be the new vets. You know what I mean? And then a lot of these old school coaches are just not a thing anymore, right? Bill Belichick didn't even get a coaching offer, and he's the greatest coach of all time. But it's because he's freaking an old school freaking drill sergeant, like in your face, you know, like old school guy. So he doesn't fit with these new guys. They don't want to listen to a guy like that, you know? It's probably why he's struggling down in North Carolina, because these kids are laughing at him and be like, yeah, okay, whatever you say, old man. You know what I mean? And he doesn't get that Patriots way respect that he's used to having. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, man. But yeah, I knew Bill was over. Look at him now. He getting his ass
Oh,
whooped North Carolina.
it's bad.
Yeah, he too. Oh, like after a while, man, it's time to hang coaching up, man. The game ain't the same no more.
Yeah. I know they're talking about renegotiating his buyout right now. So he might be
Yeah,
gone before the end of the season and just
yeah,
let one
but
of the young guys do it.
yeah, I know he took the job mainly to put his son in place to replace him, though. But I don't know how that gonna work.
Yeah, after everything that happened, I don't know if they're going to be like, yeah, I don't know if we trust your coaching tree.
You ain't lying.
And you know what? Think about it. The Bill Belichick coaching tree. Wait, is he Bill Parcells' coaching tree?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he's Bill Parcells, right? So that tree doesn't really have any impact like it used to have anymore, right?
No, hell no.
It's out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, it's over. Like people want people, like they look at people from Shanahan tree, Sean McVay tree, Andy Reid tree.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I was talking about earlier how, like, man, the Mike Shanahan tree is huge, right? We got Mike
Yeah,
LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Liam Cohen. You know what I mean? Down over in Jacksonville, right?
yeah,
You know what? What do you tell me if this makes sense to you? When I watch the Jacksonville Jaguars, they remind me of us, like what we're all right now, like with the Kevin O'Connell style system where it's playing from behind sometimes and coming back and winning at the last minute. You know what I mean? Like, what the
yeah,
heck is going on?
yeah. I can see, I can see why you saying that though, but I don't know because like they have a first, like they have a quarterback they took in the first round, the first pick, and he's not really looking too good, honestly. Though I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
For sure. What up, Gary? What up?
Gary, what's going on?
No, yeah. But it seems that the coaching tree seems to be the future. You know, people
Yeah,
that come from
yeah,
there are having a massive impact. Yeah. Like Trevor Lawrence is definitely not having a statistically good year. Like when you look at his numbers, they're all down,
yeah.
but they're winning games. You know,
Man,
is it
I
do you
don't
think
know
it's a thing of him adjusting to Liam Cohen and this like Mike
if
Shanahan system?
if for sure coaching. This for sure coaching because
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence be trying to get the game away at the end of them games.
sometimes
Yeah, just like the
it don't
49 and
happen.
we end up sliding out of bounds, instead of sliding inbound and the clock stopped.
Mhm.
Then last week the delayed game. Then he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball in a run in the end zone. No, but I don't know. I don't know. He still played like he nervous or something to me though.
Yeah, he's I think his confidence may be a little rattled over the last few years and all the negative and all the is he a bust kind of conversations and narratives, you know, like this is the golden boy that was supposed to be the next guy up and he's been the least one to
Yeah,
prove that, right? So maybe his confidence is a little shot. Maybe it's going to take this season. Maybe he's a little bit shell shocked like Sam Darnold was, right? Maybe it's going to take a season with this new coach to kind of
get them
reignite
together.
that confidence. You know what I mean? I don't know. I want him to do good. I don't. I want all players to do good, except for when they're
Right.
playing our team. When they're playing
Yeah,
our team, they can suck. But
I feel you on
but
that
yeah,
one.
I want him to do good, and I think it's cool to see how the Mike Shanahan tree is evolving and taking over the NFL.
Yeah, because the NFL right now it's an offensive league. Like defense coordinators, like don't really do good. Like you got my man in Houston, he a defense coordinator, but I don't know. I really blame the GM for what's going on in Houston. I don't know what's going on over there. They keep on trading the offensive lineman.
Yeah, I don't know what's yeah. It was so funny because last year Laramie Tunsil was the scapegoat for a lot of their O line problems, and then they got rid of him, and now he's
Yeah,
over in Washington, and he's playing great in Washington, right? So it's like, maybe you're dealing with a similar situation to us with your O line coach just being garbage.
yeah.
You know
Cause
what I mean, and not being
they
able to figure it out.
you forgot they pick up Cam. You forgot they picked up Cam Robinson, then trade him to Cleveland.
Yes, I forgot about that. Absolutely, yes. And then on top of that, like, what do you? Cam Robinson did pretty damn good for us. He's got potential. If you put him in the right system and you give him some good coaching, he could be a solid starter. So I don't know what they're doing down there. D'Amico Ryans, maybe his first round at a coaching job wasn't, is should be coming to an end soon, and maybe they need to bring somebody in that's established to kind of build a culture or build something, because their identity is gone. I don't even have they even had an identity. Would you say?
I would say the running game was good when they had Joe Mixon last year, but he out with injury though. But you should have brought in another running back. You brought in Nick Chubbs.
Yeah.
Like Nick Chubb and lost both of his damn legs, and he's 30 years old. that was crazy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That is too funny. Man, Colin Cowherd is at it again, man. He has been freaking just throwing some most ridiculous takes, man. Earlier today, he was basically throwing massive shade at freaking Jalen Hurts, and basically implying that the Eagles Super Bowl window is basically done. What do you think about that?
Listen, man, if the Eagles were to go on the winning streak after next week when they lose to us, that'd be 3 in a row. Then they can win 4 games in a row, and Jalen Hurts can look marvelous, and he gonna jump right back on the Jalen Hurts train. I'm just saying this. I'm saying he's not playing good right now because AJ Brown is in his ear. But we all know Jalen Hurts can throw the football. We've seen this, but
I did a live today where I basically, man, it was weird. I basically defended Jalen Hurts. I think he's a great quarterback.
Yeah,
and I was like, because I started off the day and I started watching First Take, and fucking auntie fucking Scam Newton was on there. Freaking basically.
Why you don't like Cam though, man? Why you don't like Cam?
No, because you want to know the truth. So,
yeah.
When he first came in the league, I was like, I cannot let this hype get the better of me. I need to make a good assessment. I need to, because
what hype though?
What I do, right? I was like, I can't let the hype crowd my judgment. I need to see 2 or 3 or 4 years, right? And then the year they freaking make the Super Bowl, that's when I finally go, you know what? I can't. He's shown me enough. He's awesome. He's great, And then that's the year he doesn't dive on that football, and it just makes me feel like such a dumbass. And that's the reason where it stems from that.
But what you mean hype though? Like, what do you mean hype?
Coming out of college, the Superman thing, all that stuff.
Let me ask you a question, Purple. Did you watch Cam in college?
Only the highlights. I didn't, because I wasn't watching college football at the time. Remember, you only got me into college football last year.
But listen, right? I'm gonna be real with you, Purple Bar. That is the best quarterback I've seen play in college. I was watching Cam when he was at a JUCO for 1 year because he got kicked out of Florida. And he went to a JUCO and went undefeated and won the championship. Then he go to Auburn because he wanted to play in the SEC and go against Florida. He go undefeated and win the national there though. But Cam, his best moment when the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. But Cam took a lot of hits. He ran the football a lot, and you knew that was going to put a lot of wear and tear on his body because that type of quarterback he is, though. But I would say Cam, he was a dog in the NFL, though, man. To put that team.
That I won't take away from him. That absolutely I won't take that away from him because he did amazing things. And that's not what my criticism with is because I have such a high standard for the quarterback position. And for me, when it comes to running stats, I basically ignore them. When I look at because the quarterback position, you at sometimes you're gonna have to throw your way to win games. And when I looked at I was like, he's got accuracy problems, he's got this, right? All these things. And when you look back at it, man, it wasn't until New England where he got his completion percentage up over 60%. Only one season where he was able to do that. And what my criticism, the thing is that when I started watching him young, I was like, this guy, if he can hone into his freaking passing accuracy, can develop throwing multiple freaking balls with accuracy or different types of throws, he can turn into Big Ben. And then he can do it for freaking like 10, 15 years. He's a Hall of Famer. But I was like, I need to wait until he develops those passing skills. And then he never did. And then when you go look at him and you compare him, like this is what got me when I started comparing him to other quarterbacks. And then I look at like things like when Christian Ponder and him, when you just look at their passing stats, Cam is just slightly better. It's embarrassing.
But Purple Bar, but what you can't do it take away his ability to run with the football.
I know that's a factor to it, but this is what I'm saying. It's the way that I view the quarterback position, and I value passing stats because I remember when Christian Ponder was in situations where like we need him to throw the ball. Like that was just my personal experience. Like when there's going to be games where that's not going to be a factor, and you're going to have to win the game with your arm. And if you can't throw the ball accurately, and if you can't make every throw, I just can't like.
But
call you something that you're not, you know what I mean? And I think that's what gets me.
On the back end though, like I feel your assessment, but I feel like your assessment on quarterbacks is outdated though, because at the end of the day, if you win a football, if you only throwing for 150 passing yards and you rushing for 100, like that really means something. And if you look at the NFL really changed. All quarterbacks right now is mobile. Look at Josh Allen. Allen is
earlier. Remember, I said that. I know maybe you weren't here, but I said that I think Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, RG3 are the three quarterbacks from that generation that made me evolve my way of thinking of what a quarterback is, and I think that they're the reason. If it wasn't for those three guys, we wouldn't see the quarterbacks the way they are. I don't think Lamar Jackson would have got a chance if we were still on the old way of thinking where we need a pocket passer general, So like at the time I was being true to the time at then, so that's why I have a different perspective of Lamar Jackson. Like if I still had that opinion or that way of judging quarterbacks, I wouldn't value Lamar, Jaden Daniels, any of these dual threat quarterback, or at least the guys that can move in the pocket, right? So I have evolved my point of view when it comes to the quarterback position because it's evolved over the years. But at that time, remember, this is 2013, 14, right? So like it's over 10 years now, right? Since that's happened. So a lot's changed. So at that time, I feel like I was assessing him properly, but now, you're right. Like,
I get it. I'm gonna throw this out there for you though. Remember when Josh Allen came to the league, his accuracy was piss poor, right? When did Josh Allen accuracy change and he changed as a quarterback? Do you know the moment was?
Absolutely. When Jordan Palmer came in and they hired him, and I believe it was year 3 where they had him come in and fix him.
And plus, he got Stephon Diggs, a bona fide number one receiver.
That plays a big factor.
Yeah. I would say this by Cam. Cam Newton in the NFL in his prime years ain't had the best coach or the offensive weapon. His head coach was Ron Rivera.
Yeah, Ron Rivera,
And his number one receiver was either Cal Benjamin or 10 Gear Jr. Like
Steve Smith Sr. He did have a true number one. Steve Smith Sr. He had a true number one at the beginning.
They got rid of him though.
Yeah, like after year 2, I think it was year 3 is when they got rid of him. He went to Baltimore, but
they never replaced a receiver core. And plus, that's a great point. But to me though, like he never had like a Sean McVay, or he never had no true offensive dude in his ear guiding him though. Like what Cam did, I think all that shit was just off the fly, just his talent, because he wasn't coached up at all.
Maybe I think I'm gonna have to soften my point of view.
If you look at it though, he looked the same.
No, you're making great points, and I'm agreeing with you. And I'm changing my stance.
Because when Cam was at Carolina, he looked the same from his rookie year until he left. And you said when he went to New England,
that's my problem. See,
but
the thing is that like you're right. Maybe it's less of a thing where I just assumed he didn't want to work on it because he wanted to rely. It's one of those things. It may be that I just kind of jumped the gun because of. Like it's like, oh, here we go. Another freaking LeBron James is just going to focus on his natural body and his genetics and play to that instead of developing all around skill.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe you're right. It could have very well been the fact that they didn't hire the right quarterback coaches or the people to do what the Bills did, where they brought in Jordan Palmer and helped them with accuracy. You know what? You've convinced me. I'm going to soften. I'm going to reevaluate my stance on Cam Newton. Maybe it's time to retire the Scam Newton.
No, for real though, because I always tell people this, man. When you have a good quarterback, no matter how good he is, man, your quarterback needs some toys around him, man.
Oh yeah.
Even better. Like that's just my thoughts. Like give him a true number one receiver. Like Josh Allen got better when Diggs got over there.
Mm-hmm.
Could Diggs know he gonna run the routes, tell you where you want the football at, tell you how to read. He gonna show you things coach ain't gonna show you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think you've definitely convinced me to reanalyze that, and I'm going to make another objective, honest reassessment of them.
Yeah, but I am a Cam fan though. But I will say this: like Cam was only good for a few years. I'm not gonna get on here and lie. Like he was only good probably about 4 or 5 years. That was it. Mm-hmm. But them years was crazy though.
Oh yeah. They definitely were. I'm not taking that away from.
No. I feel where you coming from though.
I respect him for what he did, and that's why I think one of the major reasons why we have the quarterback of today. But the things that really chap my ass with it is what makes me kind of be so hardened when it comes to my opinion with him.
Hey, you know what, Craig, though? I thought about this today, though.
What's that?
I thought about this. Like, to be a Hall of Famer, you had to be like the best quarterback, or you had to change the game or something, right? Now, let me ask you that. I thought about this. Like, should Michael Vick be in the Hall of Fame? If you sit back and think about it, though.
That's a good question. Because if it wasn't for Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson wouldn't exist. RG3 wouldn't exist. Cam wouldn't exist. Russell Wilson wouldn't exist. Right?
Josh Allen.
As a result, Josh Allen, all the new guys that are now dual threat guys. That it's a prerequisite of the position now.
Yeah, maybe. But if you look at it though, he did okay at Atlanta, but he did great in Philly. But we know he did. You know, he went away for a couple years to whatever the case might be though. But he changed the game at that quarterback spot though.
You're absolutely right.
So should Michael Vick be in the Hall of Fame just because of that?
Yeah, from his era, that was one of the prerequisites back then. It's a little bit different now because of how it's evolved in the Hall of Fame criteria or whatever, how they judge it now. But when you look at it that way.
But look, though, I'm always saying this.
Does he have like at least, I think maybe like 7 or maybe 10 years of like top elite stats? Because if he has that and he revolutionizes the position, that's a Hall of Fame.
Only reason I said that because I listened to your boy Colin Cowherd. How you pronounce his name?
Yeah,
and he made a crazy statement a couple days ago. Said Jared Goff is a Hall of Famer right now.
I laughed so hard.
You seen that shit?
I did. I'm ready. I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna do it. I have it locked in the chamber here, ready to freaking go.
I'm like don't give like Jared Goff number is good. He was talking, but have we ever said he was the best quarterback in the NFL in any years?
No, you know what? Actually, no, I don't have it in the chamber. Actually, I did it yesterday in Hot Take Review. We looked over that freaking clip where he said he started off by saying like, hey, if you look at somebody that has like 10 years of excellence, like old school, if we got a guy like in the old way of doing it, if he had 10 years of like elite stats, you know what I mean? Not by today's standard of like, who's like the popularity contest or whatever it is, Jared Goff would be a Hall of Famer. And I'm like, okay. But the thing is, Mr. Colin Cowherd, we are in modern day in football. And since the year 2000, there has not been a single quarterback inducted into the Hall of Fame without a Super Bowl.
For real?
So he's going to have to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I researched it. Nobody. Nobody since the year 2000.
Okay, but when he said that, it blew my mind. Like I can see if he goes to the Super Bowl with the Lions because they never been to Super Bowl. So to me, that'd be a big accomplishment right now for Jared Goff. But to say that right now, I'm like, I don't know about that.
To me, that kind of goes. It sounds similar to when people say, "Well, LeBron James went to 10 finals," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he lost 6. Who the fuck cares?"
But
sorry, I don't mean to swear. Sorry.
Oh no. But look though, Purple Bar. If you look at Jared Goff's number through all his years, and he been the one he lost, it will be hard though. But if you take a Lion team that never been to one and get there, he'd be 0-2 though. But that right there would be kind of big because they never been to one in 56 years.
Yeah, because with Matt Stafford and Megatron, they went 2 playoff appearances.
No, they ain't never been no Super Bowl though. They the
No,
only
no, no.
NFC.
Well, they made 2 playoff appearances and only won one game and got bounced out. The furthest they went was a divisional round with Stafford and Megatron. With Barry, they had a 7-year peak where they made an NFC championship game in 91 or 90, one of the early years with Barry. They made it
Yeah,
to an NFC championship game, but then never went back to it, right? So the thing is like I did look into this, right? And I looked into it, and I like to get context, and I like to look at history and stuff like that, and other teams as well. And when it comes to Jared Goff, like I just don't like. I don't know. I made the point yesterday. It's like I don't think he's going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I just don't think
me
so,
neither.
because this is the reason that rationale that I have, right? So we have Sean McVay, one of the most talented young quarterback or coaches in the league. And he went to the Super Bowl with him and he lost. And immediately after that, he traded him to the Lions to steal Stafford because he knew he could win a Super Bowl with Stafford. And there was no chance that he could win with Jared Goff, because he knew that there's an actual flaw there that exists that has never been released to the public, in which why they believe that he is not going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, or that their window was too small for them to wait for him to get there, because they had Aaron Donald, they had all these guys that were getting older, right? So you have to move on to a guy that can win now, right? And then I go, wait a second, aren't we in the era of like sports psychology where every team has like a sports therapist and spends thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, on working on their players to make sure that they can overcome these mental barriers, especially in the playoffs? So I'm thinking, so you're saying to me, so I'm thinking like, okay, so if you look at the Rams tenure, what it's safe to say that they probably spent a bunch of money to hire therapists and get them into the right mindset so they can win. And even after all that money that was spent, it just wasn't, it was a clear that we're not going to do it with him. And then they go and trade him immediately after that Super Bowl, and they trade him and they give away draft compensation. It literally has never been done in the NFL, where a number 1 draft pick gets traded away alongside with picks. It's never been happened. And then they got Matthew Stafford. They also gave him a backup quarterback too in that deal. They literally was like, just take him. You know what I mean?
Who else they give up?
I forget who they it was just like a journeyman backup, like a practice squad backup sort of guy. I forget his name right now. But yeah, like that alone tells me that they've spent a lot of time, energy, and hired sports psychologists to get him to that step. And they said, he's not the guy. He's not going to win it. And so we're going to move and we're going to get a Super Bowl while we can. And then we're going to figure it out after. And that's what they did. And then we look at the Lions, and they had Matthew Stafford for how long? And what did they do? Nothing. So to me, that tells me that this organization is just fundamentally at the base, it's flawed, right? So that's why they spend decades on a last place freaking schedule, right? So of course, if you're in a last place schedule and you're almost always picking number 1, guess what? You're gonna pick a Barry Sanders, you're gonna pick a Megatron, you're gonna pick an Aiden Hutchinson, and all of a sudden, all these number 1 picks that you've come, or top lottery picks that you've accomplished or accumulated over a 10-year span, guess what? Now you have an actually talented roster, and then this is what they do. They put together 1 or 2 winning seasons, 3, and then they collapse and they blame the refs or they freaking choke, and then they lose their coordinators, and then their players start to leave in free agency. And then before you know it, the locker room breaks and they're back on a last place schedule for another 10, 15 years. So you know what I mean? So I'm like, they're just the rerun kings. And I don't think they're going to be able to get to a Super Bowl and win one, because they've already lost to 2 of their coordinators. If the coordinators don't stay and say, holy crap, no, we're that close, I'm not leaving this year because this year we're going to win a Super Bowl. And if they go, I'd rather move on and build somewhere else instead of stay here and win a Super Bowl, that tells you something. That means that they don't believe that they can win a Super Bowl anytime soon, and they're going to move on while they can get a big paycheck. And that's what happened, right? Aaron Glenn over in New York, and then freaking Ben Johnson over with the Bears, right? So that's my rationale, and that's my thoughts behind it. Oh man, I've been doing so bad. Thanks, cause and effect. Yeah, guys, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to jump over onto Zoe's channel as well as sub on my channel here, Purple and Gold Bars. I hope you guys are enjoying today's conversation in that chat. That we're doing some live football for you guys.
And like I just would think, like I'm just sitting back thinking though, because like I seen the Eagles win their first Super Bowl. They never won one before. But I'm thinking, like, if you would say right now, like, who are your top 3 teams in the NFC right now? And who you think could beat, who you think right now can beat your number 1 team in the NFC?
The thing is that I had my 3 on my power rankings this week going into this
the
week.
Eagles
I had the Lions number 1. I think I went Buccaneers 2, and then I went Eagles 3, and then I went Colts 4.
No, I'm talking NFC,
like,
though.
oh man,
I'm talking strictly in. I want to say this though. Like, do you really feel like, and do you think Baker Mayfield can win a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers this year? Because they look good.
To me, I don't know which team he can do it for. If he stays with the Bucs long term,
I'm talking about this year.
I just think this year, any year, I think he can win a Super Bowl. I think he has what it takes, man. Literally, I'm old school. I'm MJ era. I love trash talking. I love that attitude. It's a sign for me, because of my era, that you're a winner and you will do literally anything to win. Right. And then for me, the moment that he grabbed his junk on the sideline and freaking was talking, remember that bowl game
in college?
In college, the moment I saw that highlight, I was like, ooh, this guy's a winner. He just needs to be reeled in. He's got to develop. And once he gets to it, like, he's already got the winning gene. So yeah, I think he can win a Super Bowl this year. Any year.
Who your top 2 teams right now in the NFC?
Probably the Lions and the Bucs.
Okay, so do you think the Bucs, if they were to meet in the playoffs, can the Bucs take out the Lions?
Easily, yeah. They did it 2 years in a row.
No, I'm just saying though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I will say this though, man, because the Buccaneers ain't healthy right now. Once towards the end of the season, when Chris Goodwin really get his legs back up under his feet, and Mike Evans come back, and that rookie receiver they have, number 2, that boy is a dog.
Absolutely.
And that rookie running back ain't playing right now. I feel like, to me, the Lions is the clear-cut best team in the NFC right now. But I also feel like the Buccaneers is the best team in the NFC right now. Because I like what I see out of Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield showing you he can win football games. But Jared Goff, on the other hand, it's like he needs the run game. That's why I'm leaning towards the Bucs, because they can air that bitch out.
He's a regular season merchant to me, man. I just don't. I'm even more convinced the more that I stop and think rationally about it. I'm like, and we're in the era of like players pay for their own sports psychologists. The ones that really want to become great, they take the coach, like the sports psychologist from the team, and then they go hire another one. You know what I mean? So you're telling me that in this era of like sports psychology and stuff, Jared Goff hasn't been working on that? Oh, he has. He's been spending that money. They've been spending, and he still can't win in the playoffs.
But to me, though, like I tell people, man, like, you could talk to a therapist all you want. I think it got to be in you, not on you. And I think Baker Mayfield might have it on him compared to Jared Goff. He got it in him, though. But I think
I would bet on Baker over Jared Goff every day of the week.
Only reason I said them 2 teams, because if you look at the landscape of the NFC as a whole, the Eagles clearly got problems, and that shit might not get fixed this year. Then the Packers is the Packers. Then the Cowboys ain't got no defense. The Commanders is a scary team too, though, for real. But I need to see them play like a Seattle or Rams. I need to see them play like another good team, though. But I think this is Baker Mayfield's best chance to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna do a video on that. This is best chance.
There you go. You heard it first here, guys. He's making a video on it. I co-sign on that 1,000%. 1,000%. I wanted to touch base here with cause and effect. He had a good point. He says, guys, do you think this is the most parody that we've seen in a while in the NFL? What what last night and last week proved is that there's no front runners. What do you guys think? I agree. It's for
Yeah.
me when you said who are the two best teams in the NFC, I was like, wait, I could say, oh crap, you know what I mean? It's like you could like there's so many teams that you can make an argument for, right? Some people might say, hey, Sam Darnold in the Seahawks. Other people might say the 49ers. Somebody else might say the Rams. You know what I mean? And it's like then the Lions, right? The Packers, the Vikings, right? Like all of us have, it's funny because what you say, you discredit the Packers because like last year going into the season, I said my intuition tells me based on what I've seen, I feel like the Packers and the Vikings are basically roughly around the same spot in the journey to becoming a consistent, strong playoff team. We have different problems, but we're still like struggling to get to that stage where we can be like front runners, you know what I mean? Because we're not there yet. Like when you have a quarterback like Jordan Love that's making rookie mistakes or even backup level mistakes, when you're throwing picks on third down, when games count, when you're trying to get yourself back in the game and he throws just off the back foot right before the pass rush hits, just lets one go like a freaking rookie. I'm like, bro, there's a lot more problems there that you guys want to give credit. Like, I get it. When he's not making those mistakes, he throws the ball really well and he does a lot of great things. But you're only as good as your mistakes. And if you're still making rookie mistakes, there's something there that needs to be addressed and worked on. And this is why I'm still holding out on making a real solid stance on what I think Jordan Love is. I still need to see more before I'm convinced either way that he's elite or either way that he's just average. But until I see something like concrete, I can't change. I can't make up my mind.
Right. So, hey, what you doing early tomorrow, like around 11, 12?
I will be driving to Ohio to see my sister. I'm pumped. I'm going to go to see the best game of the weekend. I'm going to go watch a football game. It's my nephews, my twin boys. They're 9 or 8 years old. So
What up,
it's
Lefty?
going to be my first time watching them play football. So as soon as I found out and I had a little bit of time, I'm going to go there. So I'm going to be driving. And then in the middle of the afternoon, I might have some time before at 7 p.m. I'm going to be on the Real to Sports podcast talking football.
Oh, send me that link so I can watch you. But then I'm gonna try to do a Sunday with you. I'm gonna try to fit it in since the Vikings got a bye week. Yeah. I want a video though, like off live though. I want to do a recorded video talking about why we feel like this might be the Buccaneers' time to win a Super Bowl this year.
And then you'll just cut it up and make it a video and upload it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cut it up though. Ain't gonna be shit. I'm just gonna upload. I don't know how to do the cut up and shit like that though. But yeah, I'm gonna record. Yeah, I'm gonna record a Sunday. I'm gonna text you, and then we can record the video. I'm gonna drop it probably about Sunday night probably Sunday night. I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. I know after football starts, I know my sister's gonna be at a fundraiser event for work. And then my baby niece and my nephews are going to birthday parties, so I'm gonna have like a 3-4 hour window to just kind of chop it up if you want.
Yeah, we could. It ain't gonna be shit about like 15 minutes. I just do one record and fuck it. Say,
do it.
Yeah,
let's do it, man.
I appreciate that shit though.
For sure. We're gonna have to wrap it up here. We've been at an hour and 30, and I have another live here at 6 with Mr. Mike Sports Vibe, and then we got a little secret guest coming in to join us. So tap into that, guys. Hopefully you guys can join in. I hope you guys enjoyed our live today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to both of our channels. I know I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. I hope to get there by the end of the calendar year. You will not be disappointed whether you subscribe to Zoe's or my channel. We're going to give you guys some real talk, giving you guys what we think unfiltered and different perspectives, which is important in this game.
Everybody subscribe to my boy Purple and Gold Bar. Subscribe to my channel, man. Y'all always see us together live anyway, though. So I ain't gotta say like we always go live together though. But I appreciate you, Purple Bar. Bring me on your channel to talk football. I love talking football, regardless of what teams is about, whatever. I appreciate the love, bro.
Absolutely, so man. I had a blast, man. We could keep going for like another hour. I know
Yeah.
we could, but we gotta
Yeah.
stay on schedule here. But I really appreciate, man. I really appreciate every single one of you. I love every single one of you. I don't care whether you're a Lions fan or whatever team. And like I said, I love you all, except for and I want the best for your team, except for when you're playing us. We're gonna beat the brakes off of you, in the words of Mr. Mike Sports 5. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Have a great day. Take care.